When people are working with affirmations, they're saying something to themselves again and again and again. They're affirming it again and again and again. And when they do that, that has an eventual effect on the consciousness. The consciousness reaches around for how those words can possibly make sense, So if people are working with wanting to generate prosperity and abundance, how do things look in the consciousness of someone who is experiencing prosperity and abundance? And one of the things that is true of that person is no matter whether I am awake or asleep or eating or having fun, no matter what I'm doing, I'm earning money. Now, that's a really bizarre idea for a lot of people. And they don't really understand how those words can possibly make sense. And yet, if I'm looking at myself, I'm saying, well, here I am, I'm talking to you, and somewhere in the world, well, maybe somebody's buying a poster, signing up into one of my classes, or, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Somewhere, I'm earning money. So it's not such an outlandish idea. And so, you see, you can start with an idea that seems totally impossible, but if you keep repeating it to yourself again and again and again and again, eventually it reaches a place where it is true, you know it. It's just true, and you see it, and you see how it's true. I remember one year, on my birthday, there was somebody coming to Denmark to do a fire walk. And it was being organized by the people who had organized my classes at that time. So I thought, I have to be there. This is a big sign, you should be there, Martin. So I went there. And there was a whole process that we went through, a kind of preparation. But at one point, we were asked to go inside ourselves to a really deep place and say to ourselves, I know I can walk on fire without burning my feet. And in that moment of saying it, to know it's true, to get into that core, the really deepest part of our consciousness, and insist on knowing it to be true. And in that moment, I knew it. And then I did it. Then I could do it. Then I was able to walk on the fire, not running fast across the coals either, but just to, on the out-breath, release all resistance, keep my attention on where I'm going, and just insist on going in that direction. And underneath my feet, there was some kind of awareness, like I'm walking on popcorn or something crunching underneath but I don't even want to think about it. I'm just going there, and I insist on going there. And it was interesting because, I don't know if you've ever done a firewalk, but when you do it, if your attention even begins to go down, your feet start to get really hot, and so it's a high-risk game. You have to hold your attention only on where you're going, nothing else, until you get there. And when you do that, you're there. So it's getting to that core where you're telling yourself something, and in that moment, you know it to be true. It may be a question of how long you can hold that sense of certainty and what you need to do to maintain that sense of certainty. But you can work with affirmations and saying again and again and again, or just do it one time. When I was healing myself, I knew that if I could get to that core place and say, I'm totally healthy and healed, that in that moment it would be true. But at that time, I didn't succeed in doing that. It was difficult for me to generate that sense of certainty, of knowing. And so working with what I could allow myself to believe was possible, then I had to work with the concept that I can see myself getting better and better. Okay, and I can see myself today a little better than yesterday. And when I'm doing a meditation, doing something that I could just let myself to believe, this is now just a little bit better than it was. And the next time doing that meditation, okay, I can start from this place that was a little better, make it just a little better, and insist on holding it. And it was to generate this sense of certainty and what I could allow myself to believe. But yes, if we can go to a deep enough place and say, I know it, in that moment, it's true.